Ladies and gentlemen, my name is TotalBiscuit. I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. WTF is rage? Well, before I continue, I would like to say that this will be a special WTF Is video because I've got some prizes to give away for you guys, courtesy of Nvidia. A couple of 560 Ti's specifically. Very nice graphics cards. Those will be given away at the end of this video, and the question will involve watching the video, so don't you get sneaky now. I know how you are, skipping to the end to find the prize. I think not. No, no, no. It's not going to work. Anyway, let's get on with it, shall we? So, Rage is the new shooter by id. Yeah, id hasn't put out a shooter in quite some time, unless you count Quake Live, which I don't. So, it's a single-player, story-driven game with a couple of multiplayer modes. It's got a 6-player combat racing mode and a 2-player co-op, which is actually a bunch of missions which are different to what's in the game, so it is actually additional content and worth doing. Combat racing, what? Yeah, it's an id game without proper deathmatch modes. That, I scratch my head at that. I really, really do. It's such a crazy idea. And if they come and release it later as paid DLC, I will have to go over there and possibly choke a bitch. Anyway, this game has had an uproar surrounding it since its release today because of PC issues. And those PC issues start with this. Not much of a video option screen, is it, folks? No, indeed it is not. So, this game thinks that it can auto-detect for you and change everything around and make sure that it balances it properly for your system. I beg to differ. I believe that I know better than the game as to what my hardware is capable of, and more to the point, I want to be able to push it and see where its limits lie. And if I can't do that, that kind of sucks. I didn't buy top-of-the-range hardware to be told exactly what my machine is capable of by some random game. So, yeah, not a lot of options. Resolution options are actually quite varied in that you can go all the way back to 640 by 480, so you can scale us all the way back for older machines. That said, it is still a bloody demanding game, so I don't know how far it's really going to scale. It goes all the way up to 2560 by 1600 for this playthrough. We're doing 1920 by 1080. It seemed fair, and actually I was having some problems at lower resolutions, which I will mention, so some of you who are running at lower resolutions may want to take this into account, involving some weird frame rate drops, as well as it looked like a kind of micro stutter, but I don't have SLI on because SLI is currently not supported in this game, so I am told. So the internet says at any rate. There's a lot of weird information about this game, or more to the point, lack thereof. So you can change the anti-aliasing amount up to 16 times. I'm just going to leave it on 8 times for the time being. You really can't notice if you go that high. And GPU transcode. If your cards support this, you should have it on, because they're using this weird technology called mega textures. So this is the ID Engine 5, id Engine 5 even. And as a result, you've got a lot of streaming of large textures into the game, and this is actually causing some pop-in issues, but I'll show you once we get into the game. So that's the extent of the option screen, and I've got to say that that is absolutely disgraceful for an id game. It really is. I've never seen an id game with so few video options. I don't know what they're thinking. And some people might say, oh, well, it's a sign of the times, console port. I don't think it is. I think it's id's arrogance, actually. And they're saying, well, you know, our technology can detect all this stuff, and you shouldn't have to do that. And you know what? We don't trust you with those options. Screw that. I'm a PC gamer. I want the option to change stuff about my game. For God's sake, look, there's more gamepad options than there is video. Pfft, disgraceful. However, it's not all bad. It does have fully rebindable keys, except for these ones. I would have liked to rebind the quick load key, for instance, because it's the same as Fraps Record, but I wasn't able to do that. So that kind of sucks. But all of these, anything that's not in red, you can rebind. And yes, that is individual keys for every single weapon. Melee attack stuff, things like that. And you've also got your keys for your driving. Driving is a fairly major component of this particular game. You did see quick save, and the quick save function actually works. It is a proper quick save, which to me is very, very good indeed, because really there haven't been an awful lot of games that have supported that lately, and that, to me, is extremely upsetting. Alright, folks, here we go. So, welcome to one of the major towns in the Wasteland. This is a couple of hours into the game for my first impressions. Now, texture pop-in. It's quite difficult to see, honestly, on my setup, but it's going to vary depending on what setup you're using. Right now, AMD cards have massive problems with this game, as in a lot of people with AMD cards pretty much just can't play it. Apparently there are a few issues with the GeForce cards as well, but I've not really experienced them, except on very low resolutions. 1080p, and of course in 2560-1600 that I was playing at, happily at 60 FPS without a single drop, no problems at all. What I'll also say is that it is limited to 60 FPS, which annoys the hell out of me, and especially those of you who have 120Hz monitors, you're probably going to be pretty bothered by that. Alright, so Rage is sort of billed as an open-world shooter, but it is fairly linear, so it's more of a hub-based shooter. You remember how it was with, say, Wolfenstein 2009, which was actually a Raven game? Well, it's kind of like that here. Only it's with id, and there's a lot of side quests, and you are connected by the wasteland which you drive around. This place also has quite a few cool mini-games, which I do like. Now, you actually should have seen a little bit of texture popping in the corner right there. It's not amazingly noticeable. I mean, it's actually coming in very, very fast for me because I have GPU transcoding an extremely powerful graphics card, so that's probably helping a bit. But once we get outside, you might see a little bit more. What you will also see is, God, that is a gorgeous skydome. It's certainly not a bad-looking game, there's no real doubt. Let's play a little bit of this mini-game. Don't worry, I'll show you the shooting and stuff later on. So, there is a cash system in this game. There's a cash system in the game, and you can sell things in order to get cash. You can, of course, buy things. There's a lot of stuff to buy. Huge amounts of ammo types, upgrades, weapons, components to craft stuff. It's pretty neat. And you can also, of course, gamble. This is one of the games in order to let you win some money, or most of the time in this case lose some money. I consistently lose at this game. It's a complete game of chance. I'll probably end up losing $25 here. Yes, I do. If you don't kill all the ghouls by the time they reach the sheriff, they kill the sheriff and you lose all your money. So this is a perfect way of wasting a lot of cash. Oh, okay, that was a good start. We might actually win some of this money back that I've been consistently losing. Go, come on. Oh! Rage-worthy is what this game is. Not surprising considering its title. Anyway, yeah, you've seen that. It's kind of neat that it's there. I say this hub area is fairly large. There's a lot of different vendors and people to talk to, side quests to get, and there is also, of course, the Wasteland Racing. Wasteland Racing is what you need in order to get the majority of your upgrades for your vehicle. So if we head on over here, we'll see what parts we've got. Vehicle supplies, these are consumables. So you can buy ammo for your vehicle, and you do use ammo in the process. I've actually thrown away quite a lot of minigun ammo, so I'm going to rearm just a little bit here. You can get all sorts of different things, escort bombs, shields, and a lot more stuff unlocks as you go through the game, as well as a ton of upgrades. Now, these are the vehicles that I currently have. This is the one that the game gave me at the start once I completed a few quests, and this is the one that comes with the Anarchy Edition. Now, my pre-order has the Anarchy Edition. All pre-orders do. You don't really have a choice in the matter. And it gives you a number of upgrades. There's a lot of pre-order DLC, and some of it's okay, some of it's not. For instance, the Rat Rod, as far as I can tell, is just a different skin. It's pretty much the same, and stats-wise, I don't think it's any better, but I've decided to put all my stuff in it because I think that the vehicle looks better than the Dune Buster. But you do get some cool things with this. For instance, there's an id theme and different skins and stuff that you can buy for them. Now, you can also tune up your vehicle by buying upgrades, and usually they're just straight-up upgrades. For instance, here we've got, you can either have standard tires or standard spike tires. There are more tire types. Spike tires seem to be better than standard tires in every respect, so you can pick your weapon types, you can pick your theme, so you can change your skin around, and you could also upgrade things like your engine, booster, and stuff like that. And this is kind of important not only for racing, but also for getting yourself around in the wasteland. So I'll show you a bit of the racing, then we'll go out in the wasteland, do some missions, and show you some actual shooting for this FPS. It's kind of weird that I'm demonstrating an id game and not showing you the shooting component, isn't it? But considering how this game plays out and the fact that it's a hybrid, really, between sort of a racing game, a driving game, and there's still a lot of shooting in it, don't get me wrong, then it seems fairly appropriate just to show you this stuff. What I will do, actually, is I'll show you a combat race. This is one that I've already done, but here we go, a minigun race. There's a rocket race as well, but I don't have any rockets yet, so I can't drive in that. And you can choose your vehicle, which, needless to say, is going to be the one that I've actually upgraded, which will be this one. All right, okay, racing time. So, the driving mechanics are extremely simple. You've got your standard keys, W, A, S, and D. There is a handbrake key, And you've also got various quick items you can use, these mines, shields, and repair items, as well as your main guns, and there's a handbrake button. There's also rocket boosts, because hey, why not? Alright, let's do some racing. Here we go. Right, so for the first few seconds of the race, your stuff is offline, needless to say. Also pick up some extra minigun ammo here. Alright, okay, and once we're around this, then horrible things start happening to everybody. So, weapons are online, which means everyone is shooting the crap out of each other. Weapons are auto-lock-on for the most part. There are some exceptions. Now, that's a shield power-up, nice and easy. It, well, stops me from dying horribly. If you blow up in this race, it doesn't matter, you'll sort of be put back on the track again. Damage, I believe, is, however, done to your vehicle. I think you have to repair that in the main game, if I recall correctly. Alright. Get out of the way. What you'll also notice is, like, the vehicles do take some fairly significant damage. Like, for instance, I've lost the spikes off my left-hand side. I don't know if that actually affects my performance. I think it does, and in which case, that's pretty neat. Alright. Switch out to some mines right there. This is quite awkward while driving, but you can rebind the keys. The F1 to 4 keys are bound to your quick slot consumable items. This applies to the shooting and the racing. So it can be a bit awkward to reach what you want while you're driving. So I'm not a huge fan of that. But again, you can rebind the keys. So at some point it becomes a non-issue, really. Alright, we are winning quite easily here. I don't think I'll gain anything from this because I've already got gold, but hey. It's all good. It shows you the racing. The car's handling is okay, but I don't like the way the handbrake works. For instance, you'd think that you'd be able to skid around corners quite easily. I'll just show you this for a second. This is what the handbrake actually does. You actually power sliding around a corner, you just simply cannot do it. It's a very, very, very hard handbrake. So that's, to me, a little bit disappointing. I like the idea of just being able to slide around and things like that, but as it turns out, you can't. So, the racing's okay. It's a good... I wouldn't just say that it's a side quest, because really those upgrades are very useful in the wasteland as you're driving around. And once you win races, you can trade the tokens in for the upgrades there, and that really is all there is to it in that regard. Alright, so you can talk to various NPCs. They're mostly just hanging around the place. That's sewer access. I don't have that just yet. Supposedly you can go in there for really good items, very powerful enemies. Alright. So, I believe I have to speak to somebody, so let's have a look at this screen, and that will show you exactly what's going on. That's my inventory. Yes, you have a very large inventory. A lot of different items there. You might also be pleased to know that you're not limited in the number of guns you can carry. I actually have 6 at the moment. In the game, it's alright. It doesn't seem to care. So, that's pretty cool. Alright. So, I am not going to go interact with someone right now. I'm actually going to find my way out of this sodding place. I'm going to go and do the missing persons quest, which is just a side quest that I picked up here, to find my way out of this town first, however, before I do anything. Annoyingly enough, this place is extremely restrictive in where you can move. So, for instance, if you think, oh, it's going to be really, really convenient to jump over a railing like that just to get to where I need to go, no, it's not going to let you do that, which is annoying as hell. Alright. So, you also have a garage as well. Garage, you can store the various vehicles, and you can also repair your vehicles. No, I'm not doing that just yet. I don't know why it pops up like that. It's incredibly irritating. Enter the garage, you'll see, has there been any damage done to my vehicle? No, none whatsoever. That's fine. It's ready to go. So, we can just leave, and then you can say, right, do you want to go back there? Do you want to go into the wasteland? Alright, so the wasteland connects pretty much everything in this game. So you drive around with your upgraded buggy, and sometimes you'll run across bandits, in which case you kill the hell out of them. And you also have this automatic GPS system right there. There are places that you can just drive to, and I believe there are some hideouts that you can just check out and things you might just run into. Although, bear in mind that there are a lot of areas that are blockaded, and that usually means you're going to die very fast, because there's guys with homing rocket launchers and RC remote control cars. Annoyingly, you're also going to notice some flickering here. So VSync isn't an option in this game at all, which is really stupid. I don't know why that is. I even forced VSync on my control pad, and it's still not happening. So you're going to see screen tearing. Oh, God. Alright, okay. Getting out of the vehicle wasn't the best idea, so let's deal with these guys first. So you get a little bit of vehicle combat every now and again. Usually nice and easy to do damage. Any damage that's sustained here, you will have to get repaired, so you do want to be a little bit careful. The damage does stay on your car. Now, there was a guy over there in a sentry gun turret. I think I'm out of range of him at the minute, so... Right, let's actually show you some FPS in this FPS game. Alright, so guns. Guns, guns, guns. I have quite a few guns, as you can see. Yes, it doesn't restrict you to just 4 or 2 or whatever. That's nice. Although you do have this menu right here, which you can switch between these weapons. And this is obviously the bit that's sort of designed for console. And this is sort of where problems start to occur, because you've also got ammo types. So, for instance, I could change to a pop rocket shot, which actually is a grenade shot for my shotgun. At this point, I'm just going to use the sniper rifle. So, let's have a quick look around, see what we can see. Nice big zoom in on there, and down it goes. The guns do feel pretty damn good in this game. The problem I have right now, for instance, is I've got a pistol, and how do I change its ammo type? I can't. Why is that? I don't know. It won't let me change it through this menu because it's only allowing me to see 4 weapons here. The pistol apparently does not count. Interesting, considering I actually have some other ammo types for my pistol. That's pretty damn stupid. I don't really know what's going on with that. Now, what you can do here is swap the stuff around into sort of the quick action box. So if I wanted to, I could switch my pistol out for something else, which I might actually want to do. I don't need the assault rifle in there, and I don't need the sniper rifle in there because I don't have any upgraded bullet types for them yet. All of these different bullet types. So let's see. Let's actually try and change this around so I can unassign the sniper rifle and then reassign that. And this is awkward, and this is sort of where the fact that this game was clearly, sort of designed console first. That is one ugly-ass tree. Holy hell, is that a sprite? Ugh. God, that's awful. Oblivion looked better than that. Anyway, you can obviously tell that this was designed with console in mind first. And everything that John Carmack's really been saying up to this point has indicated that. It's like the idea that Raid does not need dedicated servers and no modding and nonsense like that. And it's like, God damn it, Carmack, what the hell are you playing at? So yeah, that's an annoying part of the game, and there are little niggly things about it that I don't like. But anyway, I want to show you some actual FPS combat, so I assume if we head over to the Ghost Hideout, we'll probably find some. It is an FPS game. I thought you might be a little bit interested in how it plays as an FPS. It is kind of neat driving around areas like this because you will find all sorts of cool stuff lying around and you will be ambushed by bandits. There are occasionally jumps you can do, which will gain you bonuses. There are spontaneous missions like kill 3 of these dudes. There's also, for instance, that mailbox over there. Mailboxes dotted around the map that may also contain some mission ideas. So, there we go. I can accept that. I can go and inquire in Wellspring for that, so that's a nice side mission I can get from there. So there is a rather interesting amount of freedom in this game that you don't generally get in other id titles. These are what I was talking about with these jumps, by the way. If you actually nail that, then you will gain some bonuses. Let's try and do it while under fire. There we go. I think I'm going to end up crashing my vehicle into a pit in the process. No, actually, it's not as deep as I thought. Never mind. All is good. You are getting on my nerves. The main problem is that actually shooting those things is really hard, because auto-lock doesn't work for that, but it's not too difficult if you just stand there and take it. You don't seem to take a huge amount of damage in the process. I'm running out of minigun ammunition fairly rapidly. Anyway, we need to get to this area over here, so let's rock and roll, whichever you prefer. Now, try and keep an eye out for texture pop-in, because I have to say on my setup, there doesn't seem to be a lot of it. It's way, way more prevalent on some cards than it is on others, from what I can tell. This was the first hub area I was involved in. I don't know if they've got anything for me. Maybe, maybe not, but you can just go and repair your vehicle here if you like. It would be interesting if they actually had any side missions. And I've also got the ability to sell stuff here, too. Don't worry, folks, we'll eventually get to shooting. I think it's kind of indicative of what this game is that I haven't really got around to shooting yet. It is not a pure FPS by any stretch of the imagination. And it's very, very easy to get distracted by the mini games and the driving and exploring and things like that. Nothing necessarily wrong with that. All right, sell items. I have a ton of stuff. There's a lot of stuff you can just sell. A lot of this stuff is available for crafting as well. So in this case, I don't really have anything that I can sell because I would quite like to just hold on to it because it's useful for crafting purposes. But you can then go buy items, and there's a lot of stuff at different vendors. For instance, a lot of ammo types here. These are nice. Yo, dog, I heard you like bullets, so we put bullets in your bullets. Minigun ammo there, fat boy rounds, things like that. All sorts of different kinds of rounds available, and a lot of the times you can buy recipes and ingredients, of course, in order to craft them yourself. So we can have a look at that for a second. There we go. Alright, so if you head over to this is the engineering bay or whatever you want to call it, and this is what I can currently craft. So it's very easy. You just, depending on what you've got, you just click build and then you can have it. These are useful, for instance, locked doors. They often contain secrets and stuff in that. Secrets are not exactly what I call well hidden. They're just behind locked doors. You need a lock grinder to get into them. So they're not really what I would call secrets. That said, there might be secrets at some point in this game. I've just not seen it the first couple of hours of play. First impressions is indeed first impressions. Alright, okay, so this thing has been sorted out. So let's head over to the Ghost Hideout, and hopefully we can get some shooty-shooting action on. I bet this is the first FPS preview where the first half an hour of it has consisted of not actually shooting anything. No, I don't count the vehicle sections. Now, as much as I'd like to say there's all sorts of stuff to explore around here, there really isn't. But this is the starting area. There is a lot more to the wasteland than this. The game is fairly linear, honestly. There are deliberate blockades to stop you from going into certain areas, but within the space that you're given, you do have quite a lot of freedom to accept pretty much any side quests, screw around, do races and stuff like that, so I can't really complain all that much. Alright, into the Ghost Hideout we go. So hideouts and areas like this will just take you to a standard FPS level, and you get a little bit shooty-shooty. So let's do that, shall we? Alrighty then. Find the missing person. I'm hoping there's some guys in here that I can actually shoot for you. That would be nice. I've been in here a few times before. I've been in twice, actually. Once because I had a mission, and twice because there was a locked door over there that I wanted to go back and lock grind. I didn't have a lock grinder at the time. Alright, okay. Shooting time. So you might be wondering what the hell's going on with that. That's actually a monocular that you can use as a scope for that weapon. Now, these guys are actually highly athletic, as you can see, and this gives me a chance to show the death system off. So, when you die, this happens. You actually defib, and you get back on your feet, but the defibrillator takes a while to recharge. It's all to do with the story that you are some guy from the past, basically, who's got nanotechnology in him and stuff like that. So, I wouldn't worry too much about that. Alright, death system has been shown off. Now we can kill people. So, which weapon have I got? Well, this is a double-barreled shotgun that comes as a pre-order with the game. This annoys the hell out of me, I might add. The fact that this is a pre-order item is disgraceful, particularly in an id game. It's a double-barreled shotgun, for God's sake. Why should people have to pre-order to get a hold of it? That said, what I will say is it's not a particularly unbalanced weapon, and that's not the same as I could say for the Fists of Rage. This weapon's actually quite nicely balanced. There you go, down you go. You might have noticed that there's some quite nice animation quality going on with the enemies. There actually are. I'd like to demonstrate that if I manage to pull this off properly. I think there's a guy around here somewhere. There he is. Okay. Let's just try and cripple this guy a little bit. Shoot. Ow. Preferably. Right. Okay, I'm going to have to deal with his friend because his friend has an assault rifle. But the thing is, he's not just going to sit there and let me shoot him. There is actually a reasonable amount of AI. You see, I've actually knocked him back on his back there, and if you hit them enough, often they'll sort of fall backwards and either they'll sit there trying to shoot you to death, or they'll actually try and crawl away and bleed out elsewhere. It's very, very cool indeed. Right, come here. They don't take a huge amount of damage, these guys. These guys are just mutants, so you can shoot them sort of normally like that, and they don't really die particularly fast, but shoot them in the head and they go down nice and easy. The shooting to me feels really, really nice, honestly, especially with the pistol. The pistol's a really nice weapon, and of course you can customize the ammo type. I could put in one of these, for instance, a Fat Boy. And what's actually cool is, watch this. You change between the two. They actually have different sized bullets. So That one's got a lot in, that clip is not so big. That's pretty cool that they put that in as a visual element. They could have quite easily skipped that, and I'm glad that they didn't. It's a reasonable amount of detail. Alright, now, what I did want to show you, I actually haven't tried this out yet, so this is going to be a first for me as well. There's an ammo type for this, the pop rockets. Now, I believe I can also put those into a double-barreled shotgun. Yes, I can. There we go. Let's load those up. So I've only got a couple of these. These are actually grenades. Oh my. That's fun. That I like. Alright. It's an id game. The shooting's pretty good. I mean, did you just watch that? That's actually really, really good. The fact that they just scurried across to another cover point after being shot. And it's like, the animations are really smooth, as if he gets knocked on the ground and then he sort of crawls away. There's no interruption in the frames there, like it's just two animations cobbled together. It's incredibly natural and fluid, and I'm very impressed by that. Alright. Now, there is one other thing to note. So these also come with the pre-order. These are Fists of Rage. You get fists normally, but these ones have spikes on them. These are ridiculously overpowered. Like, you can punch a guy to death in 1 or 2 hits, whereas actually shooting him is not as effective. Alright, get over here. I mean, I punched that guy to death with 1 shot. In fact, I actually spent an awful lot of the first few hours of this game just punching people because it's more effective. Oh, that's a bit grisly, isn't it? A collector card. That's for a card-playing minigame. There's actually a collectible card game in this. There's a huge amount of weird stuff in this game just to distract you from doing your job. And, you know what, I'm okay with that. There you go. It's quite easy to take these guys down with fists, honestly. Surprisingly so. But yeah, it's weird because the double-barreled shotgun's a really nice addition, and I don't approve it being just a pre-order bonus only. And then the Fists of Rage, they're nice as well in the fact that they are just better in every possible respect to the other stuff that you get. Like, your standard fists are just nowhere near as good as that. So I don't really know what's going on with that, the idea that they just make you more powerful. There's a couple of other things with the pre-orders as well. For instance, the fact that you get Crimson Elite Armor. Crimson Elite Armor, you can put that on, you gain a bunch of bonuses that you won't get with the other armor types. Armor types are stuff that you pick about 2 hours into the game, and you can actually choose a bonus. You can get, say, a discount at a vendor, or some stuff makes your crafting better, and that affects your playstyle just a little bit. Crimson Elite just gives you all of those bonuses straight off, so I actually think that that makes the game maybe a little bit too easy. Well, I guess you had a very, very bad day, didn't you? Unfortunately, I cannot cut her down from there. She's going to have to stay. Alright, back to double-barreled shotgun, because hey, why not? That's the fun way of doing things, is it not? This is a ruined hotel area that you've probably guessed by now. Well, I think we found the missing persons. Was that the missing person? I guess maybe he was. Or was it the one that was strung up? I don't really know. Because I found it before that, so I don't really know what's going on there. Whatever the case, that quest is done, so you can get out of there, and... No, I think not. Now, Bioshock style, this really is a case of loot all the things, and you're going to want to do that, because you get money, you get parts for crafting, you get all sorts of neat stuff. Now, I'm hoping there's another guy here, so I can show you what a wing stick is like, but whatever. Oh, hi. Perfect. Go wing stick! So, wing sticks are sort of these awesome homing boomerang / crawl things. Glaives. They can do quite a bit of damage. To the point where they'll just kill people if they take their heads off. And if they don't bounce off too many hard surfaces, they'll also return as well. So they're a nice consumable item, and they're actually a quick use. So, you have a lot of combat variety in this game, from what I've seen. Even early on in the game, you get a lot of options. A lot of different weapon types, things like that. There we go, my defibrillator. Let's get the pronunciation right. And that defibrillator is back up, so if I die again, I can get up, zap everyone around me, and it's a nice little minigame. It's a cool little component to the battle. Alright, okay, let's get out of here. I think we should go back the way that we came. Thank you very much. If I were to give you the basis of my first impressions over these first couple of hours, I've got to say that I am really, really enjoying Rage. Now, I understand that a lot of people are very upset about the issues with ATI, and indeed, you know, there is texture popping even here. It's not as noticeable on my setup. You probably haven't seen an awful lot of it. I don't like the screen tearing that is a result of stupid decision not to have VSync in the game. That's something that needs to be patched. But honestly, I don't really have a huge number of complaints, really. It's a good game for what it is. I read a certain review from a certain site that I will not name. It said, oh, it's Borderlands without any of the fun. I was like, right, okay, it's got driving in it, and it's in a wasteland post-apocalyptic, therefore must be Borderlands. No. You know what it is? It's Borderlands with proper shooting. It's the same thing as Bioshock, for instance. Those are the two easy comparisons to make for Rage. Bioshock and Borderlands. And yeah, it's got some of the driving from Borderlands in it. It's got some of the idea that it's got an economy and upgradable weapons like you have in Borderlands. But most of the RPG mechanics are gone. There's no leveling up. There's no skills that you learn, things like that. There's no random drop weapons. And in fact, that's something that I do find a little odd, for instance. Ignore that. You can have a bandit drop an assault rifle or whatever, and you can't pick it up. It's a different kind of weapon to what you're using. And that's really, really weird. I don't really know why that is. For instance, there were guys with assault rifles before I got an assault rifle in the game. I want to just grab his assault rifle. It won't let me do it. That's just odd. I mean, when has that ever happened? So I don't really know what's going on there, but honestly, my gripes for this game are fairly minor. I think there's some technical stuff that definitely needs sorting out, and no one's really going to argue with that. Enabling SLI, for instance, the fact that some of the textures are really kind of lame and could be much, much better on a PC than they are on consoles. John Carmack actually claimed that all of the versions had the same textures, which is fairly ridiculous. Why, oh why, you'd give the same textures to this as you did to the 360 and PS3 versions, I really don't know. I mean, it's obvious that the PC is capable of more than that. I don't know how true that was. Again, it was just something John Carmack said on Twitter. And you know how inaccurate those things can be. But honestly, it's a pretty damn fun game. And it really doesn't have a huge amount of problems with it. Not that I can see, gameplay-wise, at any rate. Some people are claiming it's bland, and it's like, I'm not seeing that. Like, yeah, it's a brown game. It's a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Of course it's a little bit bloody brown. Oh, god damn it. Respawned into that area, not what I was aiming to do. But actually, you'll see a lot of color contrast, particularly with the sky, for instance. I mean, this is a good opportunity. Just look at that. Doesn't look brown to me. I mean, look at this freaking sky dome here. It's a deep blue. It's got a really nice contrast to it. There is actually quite a lot of color in this game, particularly inside some of the settlements and things like that. They're quite nice and creative. That's cool. I don't mind that. And even in the way that, say, some of the guys are dressed, for instance, there's a lot of character there. So I wouldn't say that this is a flat, characterless game by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's got quite a nice sense of character. It's got a nice theme to it. I am a fan. I like the way things look in this game. It's a bit Fallouty. It's a bit Wild Westy. It's a bit steampunky in places. I like it. I'm just enjoying the hell out of it, really. And I don't know how I can criticize it all that much after what I've said. I think I've really gone through the laundry list of problems that this game seems to have. Yes, there are a lot of technical issues. A lot of these, I think, can be fixed. For instance, I was able to increase my field of view via a simple launch command. You can also enable the developer console, which will allow you to muck about with certain things. The FOV for default was 80, which I found to be a little bit motion sick inducing, so I increased it to 95, and it seems fine on my big monitor. So you can change the FOV. It's not really a problem. But there are these weird problems with the lack of in-game options. I shouldn't have to be tweaking those things in a launch command. I should be doing it within the actual game. Where is the reason for not doing that? Sup, Giant Monkey. So until this point, I am really enjoying Rage. But on the basis of the fact that there are a lot of launch issues, I would perhaps be patient and wait. Now, some of you, of course, already have this pre-ordered. So if you have an ATI card, I'm hoping they get it sorted out for you guys in Europe, because it's out on Friday in Europe, it's out today in the US. I hope they get this stuff sorted out for you guys, because it does seem like a very enjoyable game. And I'm not having a huge number of problems with it. I am enjoying it a huge amount. There's a lot of stuff to do. For instance, the fact that you can upgrade your weapons as well as upgrading your different ammo types. There's a lot of combat variety, a huge amount, more than I've seen really from any other id game, and that impresses me. I like the fact that I can upgrade my weapons. I like the fact there's a ton of stuff to buy. I like the fact that there's a tradable card game and there's this freaking thing. Let's try and actually win it this time. Oh god, please, please, please. damn it! I like the fact that it's stealing all my money. Hey, there we go. Fantastic. Finally, I knew I'd get a win at some point. You just have to keep trying. The game has some seriously good things going for it. For the multiplayer, I have not tried it yet. I'm probably not going to try it until Friday because, of course, Europeans don't have this game yet, so everything would be too laggy for me anyway. So on Friday, I'll probably try some of the co-op missions, and I'll also try some of the combat racing. So it has issues, but you know what? For the most part, it's really actually quite enjoyable, and I like that an awful lot. I'll be playing more of this game. I'll try and finish this game. I might play it again. You never know.
Care to trade?
I would love to trade. Upgrades, upgrades, upgrades. So much stuff. You know, upgrade armor and stuff like that. God. So much stuff! It's like, if you like collecting things and hoarding things, then my god, this game does have that.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Alright. Okay. So, that's that done, folks, and I did promise a contest. So, the kind folks over at Nvidia have given me two 560 Ti's to give away. So, I'm going to make it nice and easy. I'm not going to go and require you to like something on Facebook, but the Facebook page is there if you want to go and show your appreciation. Nvidia are pretty cool when it comes to giving us stuff to give away. They've already given us a 560 and a 570, so we've got two more 560 to give away, and I've got something really nice coming up for you. Oh yeah, something even juicier than both of those things. So thanks to the guys over at Nvidia for giving that. And if you want to go show your appreciation, the Facebook page is down there. If you don't, that's cool too. But just letting you know who provided this. So, I said that there would be a question, and there are two of these cards I'll be giving away to the two people that I draw randomly out of the hat that get the correct answer to this. And this question, you should have been able to answer by watching this video. Oh, yes. What is the name of the hideout that I went to in order to complete the missing persons quest? What was the name of the hideout that I went to in order to complete the missing persons quest? I added an extra S in there somewhere. I really don't know why. So good we S'd it twice. Send the answers in to contest@cynicalbrit.com. That is contest@cynicalbrit.com. Put your subject line in as Rage Contest. Yeah, Rage Contest. That makes it nice and easy for us to find. And just put in the name of the hideout. We'll draw two at random. And yes, this contest is open to pretty much anybody. We're not going to restrict it in terms of region. Because you know what? We're not mean and unreasonable like that. Rage, folks, from id Software. Not too shabby. Needs its issues sorted out. Might want to wait if you're ATI. Definitely. But I have a feeling that once the issues are cleaned up, this is going to be a really, really solid title. It's already pretty damn good for me. I think I'm pretty lucky that mine is not having any issues. I am not dismissing the fact that other people are having problems. They certainly are. But for the most part, I think this is awesome. It's really, really good. Except for the fact that mouse acceleration is on in this menu. Don't know why. See? It moves twice as fast. Why is that? It's just little things. Just little things. If you look at the big picture, though, or should I say the mega picture, it's pretty damn awesome. My name's been TotalBiscuit with a look at Rage. I'll see you next time.